Alrighty, daily update, take two. Note to self, when the viewfinder screen is black, that means you still have the lens cap on. Yeah, spent about 10 minutes walking around showing everybody stuff. Okay, this is my solar panel system, the way I have it. That's a 100-watt array right there. It's a Harbor Freight Thunderbolt kit. Pretty good. They do a nice job. You don't have to have direct sunlight. They still will generate some voltage. I have two more kits, and I'm going to get two more batteries for a total of four. And uh, I'm going to see if I can't run my coffee machine on solar in the morning. So this should be interesting. It would be nice if I could do that instead of running the generator. Okay, the other part of my solar project that works quite well, and in fact I had a nice solar powered shower just a little while ago, and I'm feeling very nice, refreshed and clean. But it's gravity fed. It's 2.5 gallons. It usually I'll put it over there on that black truck cap where that blue jug is sitting, and it gets nice and toasty, like about 45 C, which is about 113, 115 Fahrenheit. That blue jug is also coming up the temperature, so I'm considering trying to work out some way to put that on top of the trailer and have my shower up there, and maybe I can have a handheld one so I can get into some of those, hard to reach places. And 5 or 6 gallons of water will give me a little more pressure. You can see my orchard. The first row here is 3 apple trees. The next 2 is pears. Right after that is 2 different varieties of plum trees. And down on the end is 2 different cherry trees. We'll be adding to that next year. I got here quite late in the season, and it just isn't a good time to be putting more trees in. But I want to put 3 more apple trees right here, and I will figure out how I'm going to, but I want to put in at least one more pear, 1 more plum, and probably 6 more cherries. Well, 4 more cherries for a total of 6. So 1 more on the end and another row on the end of there, because my wife loves cherries. This up here, when I get that all mowed down and cultivated, I'm hoping to have blueberries and strawberries growing in here. In fact, everything on this upper end, that if it's not a evergreen tree, it's going to get yanked out unless it's an apple tree, which we have a few wild apples. They're the small ones, the crab apples. There's going to be all food in here, mulberry trees, all kinds of stuff. My big work update for the day are these 3 windows here, and there's another one around the front side. And the roof is almost done on this side, and maybe 2/3 or a little better than halfway done on the other side. But it sure is feeling good to finally get cover over the house. And this sheathing is not the final outer siding. Um, I'm going to leave that as a surprise. We'll do that whenever I get to it. But these 2 windows are set a little higher. That's where the bathroom's going to be. This, I hope, is where the kitchen sink is going to end up, but it's pretty close to where the bathroom wall's coming down, so we'll have to see. That's going to be, maybe I could put in one of those corner sinks, which would be kind of cool. There's going to be 2 more windows coming in here, set at the same level as this one, and right around the corner 2 more windows set at the same level. And there's the 4th window I got in today. There's quite a bit of stuff inside the house, so I had to do a bit of moving around to just get room to do that, because I didn't want to work on the sunny side. It was pretty hot today. This messy looking part in here in the middle, that's going to get cut out, and that's where the big French doors are going in, which all of that is around the front. But the roof is looking pretty darn nice. And tomorrow it should be finished. I think it was getting a little hot, and the roofer was getting a little bit tired, and one of his tubes of roofing caulk, which I understand is pretty darn gooey, wound up falling apart in his hands, and he got it all over his drill motor, which is still sitting up there, but and probably some of his tools that he left up there just so he wouldn't have to handle them again. But it's coming along. He'll have it done. He'll have all my mistakes covered up. Doing a very professional job. Very pleased with him. If you're here in Maine and need a roofer in the central Maine area, Mike Mailman from Palmyra, message me and maybe I'll get you his number and he can give you a quote. But I've got an extremely reasonable price for what he agreed to do, which was basically just install the roofing because it was already here. So there's the French door. That's going to need 2 men and a tractor with a bucket, which I have the tractor coming next week. So that'll all be taken care of. There's the rest of the windows. Hopefully I'll have them in the next couple of days. I have some appointments in town tomorrow, so I hopefully can get at least 2 more done. And this pile here is 2x4s, framing lumber, if you're not familiar with a 2x4, for the interior walls for the bathroom and the kitchen, bedroom, sorry. Kitchen and living room and dining is all going to be open area. It's a small house, and also it's going to be a high ceiling, open ceiling. And there's that hawk. And we knew we had a bird's nest. We knew we had a family of birds living inside the eaves here, and it turns out they're, sorry if I'm making you sick, but if you look, if you could see that little gap right up here, I mean, it's not much of a gap. I don't know if you can see it or not, but believe it or not, there's a family of hawks in there. Pretty cool. I know it's a hawk because I saw it come out of there, or one of them. And it flew over into one of those tall trees right over there. And they're flying around probably, I mean, their babies ought to be getting quite big and ready to eat. And here's our kayaks. The gray one is mine. It's a 16-footer, I'm trying to remember. Classic Greenland style. 23-inch beam. I'm very comfortable in it. Doesn't feel tippy at all to me. And it just glides through the water. This one I bought after I went back to Ukraine. My brother-in-law kindly went and picked it up for me. But this is another classic one. This one's a 24-inch beam. It's a 16-footer. And it's made to haul the mail. It will paddle quite easily, and it will carry a lot of gear for camping trips, which I hope we get a chance to do. And you can see that rip on the end of the tent there. That was caused by that 18-foot aluminum Grumman canoe launching in a windstorm, and apparently it just speared the back end of that tent. Oh well, such is life. I'm gonna make sure the canoe is tied down better, or make sure it's tied down at all, and probably on the other side of that cage, where basically I have concrete blocks in there because I don't want them running off. You know, they get crazy all the time. So I'll probably put the canoe on the other side there and maybe weigh it down somehow and prevent some further damage. But I've got a fresh silver tarp that I'm going to put over, and hopefully we'll have enough to drape down. If not, I'll get another small one and tie that one on there. And putting that silver tarp over the roof does a great job of reflecting off a lot of heat, making it much more comfortable to work in there. So this is where I left off on take one, and I think I'll leave off right here. Beautiful view of my Dodge Ram truck. Yes, it's got a Hemi. Alright folks, I know the microphone on this crappy camera won't pick it up, but everything that you can't hear is the reason that I'm here. This is heaven for me. Okay, folks, later on.